Hi, again, this is Burt McCarty at Clemson University, and T. Studemeyer being my cameraman here. I'm going to do another pour control trial, a broadleaf weed control trial that's kind of unusual. We use all natural or organic products that many people have asked us about, and you can order or buy over the internet or buy at your local bot store. So let's see how well these things actually work. So let's go through these treatments. And again, this first trial has been out 1 week, and so 7 days. And so you'll see the results after 7 days. This first treatment is actually untreated, so it has not been treated, obviously, with any of the products that we're getting ready to talk about. It is a combination of broadleaf weeds such as Carolina geranium, corn speedwell, chickweed, some dandelion, and some white clover. And so it's a good hodgepodge of broadleaf weeds and a good test for what we're after. This first treatment is a combination of caprylic and capric acid. It is at least one trade name that we use. It's called suppress herbicide. Suppress herbicide. We use the legal or we use the label recommended rate. Again, first thing you notice is some of the burn to the Tifway Bermuda grass, which is what the base grass is here. We are seeing some burn down of the annual broadleaf weeds. Some of the perennials are not being controlled, but again, we are seeing some activity. Treatment 3 is a combination of clove oil and cinnamon oil. It has the trade name of Weed Zap. Weed Zap. Again, this has been out 7 days. We see very little activity on any of the weeds and very little turf burn. So kind of a double-edged sword here. We didn't get the turf burn that we did the first treatment. We would certainly get the weed control either. Treatment 4 is citrus oil. It has a trade name of Avenger Weed Killer. Again, been out 7 days. Seeing some turf burn initially, is starting to recover after the 7 days. Some burn on the broadleaf weeds, but certainly not to the level that we had hoped for. So again, this is citrus oil. Treatment 5 is just common vinegar or acetic acid. There are many trade names that you could buy. The one we use is Weed Farm. Also, there's another one called Green Gobbler. Again, this is vinegar. As we have seen in many trials that we have done with this product as well as these other products, we saw some initial burn down. You see some tip burn of the particular weeds that we're after, but the turf is recovering, as are the weeds. So we do get some weed control, but not complete weed control. Treatment 6, this is ammoniated soap of fatty acid. Has the trade name Final Sand. Final Sand. Again, we had some pretty initial or tough initial burn to the turf. It is starting to recover after 7 days. Many of the annual broadleaf weeds are dying. However, the perennial weeds are not. So again, we're seeing some weed control, but not complete. So again, this is the ammonium soap of fatty acid. This treatment is called pelargonic acid, as well as some other fatty acids that's put into it. It has a trade name Scythe. Scythe is known as a contact product, and that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing some initial burn to the Bermuda grass, the base grass here, but we're also seeing pretty good kill, or at least burn down, of our annual weeds. Perennial weeds, it is not killing. We are getting some leaf burn, but we're getting pretty good control of annual weeds. So again, this is Scythe or pelargonic acid. The last treatment here is called ammonium nanoate with the trade name of Axe. Again, some turf burn initially is starting to recover. Again, it's Bermuda grass is our base grass here. Some broadleaf weed control, not complete, mostly on the winter annual broadleaf weeds, but the perennial broadleaf weeds, we are seeing some burn to it, but not complete control. This set of treatments are identical to the ones I just went through. However, these have been applied to the same area 3 separate times. Our first treatment was the 1st of March. Then we had another treatment about 2 weeks later, and then the third treatment about 2 weeks after that. So again, we're going to see how the effects of multiple applications may have on some of these weeds, as well as the Bermuda grass base. Again, this is our untreated. You can see how heavily infested it is with various broadleaf weeds, just like it was the untreated with the previous trial. All right, this is the combination of caprolactic and capric acid. Again, it's called suppressed herbicide. After 3 applications, pretty good weed control. Most notably, though, the perennial broadleaf weeds are escaping, but most of the annual broadleaf weeds, we're getting pretty good burn down of that. And even after 3 applications, the turf seems to have gotten adapted to the herbicide, and we got much less burn than we did after the first application. Treatment 3 is the combination of clove oil and cinnamon oil. Again, the trade name that we use is called Weed Zap. Just like we did the previous treatment, this has been applied 3 times. However, not as good a control of broadleaf weeds as the previous treatment. We do have better turf tolerance, but again, we got worse broadleaf weed control. We do have some, but not complete. Treatment 4, again, is citrus oil. The trade name we used was Avenger Weed Killer. Again, this has been applied 3 times. We've seen very little weed control, pretty good turf safety, but very little weed control. So probably not acceptable treatment at this time. Treatment 5 is our vinegar or acetic acid. Again, there are many brand names of these out there. Ones we have used are Weed Farm, as well as Green Gobbler. Again, this plot has been treated 3 times with the vinegar. Pretty good control of the broadleaf weeds, at least the annual broadleaf weeds. Some of the perennial broadleaf weeds, like the white clover and dandelion, have escaped. But overall, we've gotten pretty satisfactory control of the broadleaf weeds with 3 applications. Again, we did have some initial burn, but the turf has adapted to this application and has recovered. Treatment 6 is ammonium soap of fatty acids. The trade name is Final Sand. Final Sand. Again, this is after 3 applications. Just like with several of the other treatments, we've gotten very good control of the annual broadleaf weeds, the winter annual broadleaf weeds. However, some of the perennial broadleaf weeds have escaped. The turf is recovering. We did have some initial burn, but a pretty good treatment overall in terms of weed control, at least for the annual broadleaf weeds, as well as turf safety. Treatment 7, again, is the pelargonic acid, as well as some other fatty acids. The trade name is Scythe. This is after 3 applications. Just like with the previous treatments, we are seeing excellent broadleaf weed control of winter annual broadleaf weeds. However, we're not controlling perennial broadleaf weeds. In this case, we got some dandelion and some white clover. So those have escaped, but the other winter annual broadleaf weeds, we've got very good control. Last treatment, again, is the ammonium nanoate. Trade name is Axe. Again, this is after 3 applications. Just like with the Scythe before it, we still got a little bit of turf injury. However, we have gotten pretty good winter annual broadleaf weed control. It's not controlling the perennial ones, just like the other treatments, but however, it is controlling the annual ones. So again, this is the product called Axe, which contains ammonium nanoate. One additional twist to these natural or organic weed control, here I have it on a Tiff Eagle Bermuda grass green, and seeing how after 1 application we could control some various array of weeds. In this particular case, we have a combination mostly of chickweed, as well as corn speedwell, field matter, and a little bit of poa. And so let's see how these products will do after 1 application and how the Tiff Eagle Bermuda grass tolerates it. Again, this is our first plot. As in most of my trials, the first plot is untreated. You can see the weed pressure we have experienced in this particular research trial. Treatment 2 is the combination of caprolactic and capric acid. Again, trade name we use is called Suppress Herbicide. This is after 2 weeks after application. Pretty good burn down of the broadleaf weeds. It's going to be interesting to see if we get complete control or not, but at least with the chickweed and the corn speedwell, as well as the field matter, we got pretty good burn down. Not complete control, but certainly better, obviously, than untreated. Treatment 3 is the combination of clove oil and cinnamon oil. Trade name is called Weed Zap. Again, for some reason, it has pretty good activity on the chickweed, but did not really do much to the corn speedwell or the field matter. So at this point, I would say this particular treatment is not going to be acceptable. Treatment 4, again, it's the citrus oil with the trade name Avenger Weed Killer. Again, this is after 2 weeks. Some burn down, a pretty good burn down of broadleaf weeds. Whether or not we get complete control is yet to be seen, but at least initial burn down is looking good. We got a little bit of turf burn, it's starting to recover, and so this potential treatment may have potential, or this particular treatment may have potential. All right, treatment, where are we at? 5. All right, treatment 5 is the vinegar or acetic acid. Again, many formulations are available. Ones we use called Weed Farm or Green Gobbler. Again, some burn down on the corn speedwell and field matter, not so much on the chickweed. So this particular treatment, unless we had some repeat applications, probably at this time would be unacceptable. Treatment 6, again, is the ammoniated soap of fatty acids, called Final Sand. Final Sand. This treatment looks, at this point, looks extremely promising. Good burn down of the broadleaf weeds that I mentioned, a good turf safety, and so in this particular case, after one application, looks like it's got some potential. Treatment 7 is the pelargonic acid. Commercial name is Scythe. Again, this is after 2 weeks. Just like the previous treatment, we've gotten pretty good burn down of the broadleaf weeds, the winter annual broadleaf weeds, good turf safety or recovery, and so this particular treatment also has good potential. Last treatment is ammoniated nonate. Trade name's called Axe. Just like the previous 2 treatments, good burn down of the broadleaf weeds that we have in this particular plot. Did have some initial turf burn, but the turf has recovered. Again, this is after 2 weeks. So again, this is Axe. Okay, so what's the take-home message of this natural or organic herbicides for post-broadleaf weed control? Well, as with most trials, some of the treatments look fairly good, some do not. Probably overall, we get the best control with the suppressed herbicide, capric acid, as well as with the acetic acid or vinegar, which is Weed Farm and Green Goblin, Final Sand, which is ammonium sulfate acid, Scythe, which is pelargonic acid, and then Axe, which is ammonium nonate. If you go use these products, a couple things to keep in mind. If you got perennial broadleaf weeds, you're not going to have to have repeat applications. If they're winter annual broadleaf weeds, you may get by with just one. Secondly, you go have some turf burn. It depends on how much you can stand. Now, when it's cooler, it's going to take longer for that turf to recover. As it gets warmer, then it will recover quicker. And so, at least in the cooler parts of the year, it's will probably be taking about 2 weeks for the turf to fully recover, 10 days to 2 weeks. And third, cost. I haven't mentioned cost yet. The cost of these products typically are much higher than what we do with our traditional herbicide. So, you must account for that in your decision. So again, these tend to work best on winter broadleaf weeds. These will burn green turf. Maybe best to put these on dormant turf, which is brown. If you do that, you'll probably take some winter applications if you get some perennial broadleaf weeds. And then again, you have to account for the cost of these products versus some other commercial products that are available. So again, hopefully this video was beneficial to you. Thanks again to T for being my cameraman, and thank you for watching it.